Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to review Alien Romulus. Now, to review Alien Romulus, I first gotta talk about this crazy franchise that started off hotter than any other franchise outside of the Terminator franchise in terms of pushing the sci-fi horror genre. This movie, the original Aliens, came out in 1979, almost 45 years ago to the day. Maybe it is 45 years ago to this day. And while I don't know if I wouldn't go as far as to say it created the sci-fi horror genre, where you would get things like a Dead Space game and things of that nature, I would say it pushed it to another level. Ridley Scott came and crafted this unique future, this interesting future, this very construction-esque, just a very realistic future that he created here with this corporation, Whaley Eutonics, and like crazy. And he launched a young Sigourney Weaver, Ripley, to new heights. Sigourney Weaver would take this movie and go on to do all kinds of amazing roles and be known as an icon in the sci-fi movie genre. A few years later, about 1986, we would get Aliens, which James Cameron would jump on board once again, bringing a new perspective and taking it to another level in a different way. While Alien was a horror movie, Aliens was a sci-fi action movie with a horror element sprinkled in. With the colonial marines and making more iconic characters like Hicks and Newt and the cat, and you get the one of the most epic, legendary lines of all time, "Get away from her, you bitch." I mean, those two movies, Alien and Aliens, really revolutionized in many ways the sci-fi genre. It pushed things to another level. It has one of the all-time greatest Alien, for my money, has the all-time greatest tagline of all time. And movies don't even really have taglines anymore, but back in the day, a great tagline sold. Outside of the Jaws tagline, "In space, no one can hear you scream." I mean, how amazing of a tagline is that? Not only is it factually true, but it's just cause the claustrophobicness of being in space, you can't just run away on Earth. You know, you're running away from Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers. Theoretically, you could hop in a car and just drive the fuck away. But you're on a space station with this ultimate predator and this xenomorph, one of the greatest all-time killing machines that's ever graced the screen, one of the greatest all-time aliens that's ever existed. Like, the xenomorph's design is iconic. From the black, the eyeless, face, to the chrome teeth, to the moistness, that it looks like it's always moist and just dripping. And everything about it, man, to the fucking double mouth, acid blood. I mean, the xenomorph has to be one of the top 5. Out of all these creatures, all these villains, I wouldn't want to fight a xenomorph. I really wouldn't. Because there ain't shit you can do with something that bleeds acid, bruh. I've always thought about this. I'm every other monster, you can sort of stab or something. But what the fuck you gonna do? You stab this thing and the blood just spills on you and you die from that. Which, by the way, in this movie, Alien Romulus, someone straight up just dies from the acid. The xenomorph didn't do nothing but bleed on homie. But I digress. But the franchise kind of went, let's say, south after that. Let's not even talk about Aliens 3 was that was a disappointment. I don't know what the fuck that was. And we don't even talk about Resurrection. That was fucked up. I don't know what the hell they were doing with Resurrection. But then almost a decade later, Ridley Scott would come back in 2012 with Prometheus. And Prometheus and Alien Covenant in 2017. Both of those movies had amazing... Both of those movies might make my category of great idea, poor execution. Visually, and the ideas Ridley Scott was playing with here, because Ridley Scott's a big gamer. Ridley Scott's a big thinker. That guy, I would, if you sat in a room, that's the type of dude you can sit in a room and just talk about nerdy shit, and he would go on. He has a great visual for this. This is a guy who started off as a cinematographer. He has a visual for for what a world should look like, for what a sci-fi world can be. And Prometheus in particular, which is a very divisive movie, I'm on the side of it, but visually and some of the concepts he was playing with in Prometheus and Alien Covenant, I fucking dug. I dug. I mean, it had a whole bunch of other fucking problems that I won't get into in these videos, but I did dig it. I say all this to tell you that many years later, another like 2024, almost 10 years, not 10 years later, 10 years after Ridley Scott came back. Now, Ridley Scott isn't directing this movie, but I think he's a producer on this movie. You can kind of see his visual flair on this movie. Alien Romulus is the best Alien movie since Alien and Aliens. It firmly is in that third slot. So I just want to get that off the top. It's far better than Prometheus, Aliens, Alien Resurrection, and fucking Aliens 3. Far better. It's firmly in that third spot, though. It doesn't rock the boat. It ain't like the greatest fucking sci-fi action, sci-fi horror thing I've seen in my life. But I will give you this right off bat. It was very, very good. Now, getting more into that. The story follows a colonist, or a colonizer / miner named Rain and her android / brother, Andy, as they struggle on this mining planet. Like, if there's one thing this movie does really flex, is just how fucked up Whaling Eutonics is. Like, Whaling Eutonics is one of the most corrupt, it's pretty much one of the most corrupt corporations in all of films, really. Like, it's them or Umbrella. So it's them or Umbrella for the Resident Evil franchise. One of those two are the worst. I don't know which one. I'd probably say Whaling, because like they affect people on multiple planets, while Umbrella just affects Earth. But still, they're corrupt as fuck. Anyways, and her friends find an opportunity to try to get off this fucking planet, to try to go somewhere, but they need the cryopods, because in this world, their space travel, while still fucking relatively quickly. I mean, you're traveling light years in a matter of you're traveling light years across a galaxy in a matter of years, but still, it's a long enough time period that you can't really get that back. Like, you don't have the food to last that long, so you just put people in the cryopods, have minimum food on the ship, and then you just set the ship on its course. I guess the ship has shit in it that it can avoid hitting anything, and they're gonna just fly off. But to get these cryopods, her and her group of friends have to sneak onto a abandoned whaling ship, steal the pods. But of course, this empty space station isn't quite as empty, because this movie actually takes place. This movie is actually technically a sequel to the original Alien movie. This is apparently it's very unclear if it's a sequel to Aliens or Alien, but they clearly say in the movie they mention what Ripley did in the last movie. So I'm going to go on a limit, so this is a sequel to Aliens. But apparently Whaling Eutonics saw the events that played out in the Alien movie. They went out searching for the xenomorph, because of course they fucking do, and they found it, and predictably shit didn't go well. Unfortunately for these kids, they happen to be in the wrong goddamn place at the wrong goddamn time, and we get our movie. The movie is a very, to be completely honest, there are really two characters that work. The other characters are okay, but there are two characters that work, and it is Rain and Andy, which are the two core characters. It does the thing that a lot of great horror movies, especially nowadays, do, which is the story itself is something that would work without, not even just horror movies. I'm giving it too much of that. No, genre movies, sci-fi, fantasy, whatever, is the story itself would work even if it was in a normal environment. Even if there weren't aliens trying to kill people, even if it was just gangsters, this story of this relationship between Andy and Rain was the heart, and it was so unique, and it was very interesting, and it was very hard. It was sad at times. It was triumphant near the end. The story between Rain and Andy was a journey, and it was a beautifully told story. And they're the main character. Well, Rain's the main character, so most of the movie is on her. So the fact that I really dug this actress and I really dug this relationship, this main through line, works. Also, they really captured the old school original Predator movie. I mean, not Predator movie, Alien movie, with it being kind of this slow build. They did the same thing. It's a slow build. We know what's coming, but they don't. So it's a slow build to build up the anticipation, to build up the atmosphere, and when shit goes down, shit goes down. Also, these are the most aggressive face huggers they've ever had on film. Usually the face huggers are more surprisers, you know. Like you stand in one place, you turn around, bam, face hugger. Usually. But if you see it coming, if you see a face hugger down the hallway, you're usually freaking good. That thing ain't moving that fast. Not these fucking face huggers. These face huggers were running motherfuckers down. Yeah, these face huggers were not the normal face huggers. These face huggers were aggressive. Like, they were going out of their way to get people. So that was unique right off the bat with the face huggers. The face huggers were very unique. The designs on the aliens were cool. Also, they did a lot of practical stuff. The alien itself was a man in a suit, like old school. There was a lot of animatronics with the face huggers and whatnot. You could tell that these were actual practical face huggers. This wasn't CGI face huggers. This wasn't a CGI alien. There are some close-up shots that harken back to the original Alien, where it's clearly rubber, but it's got but I always felt like, it's funny, the rubber suit actually works for the alien because it makes them look even more otherworldly, and the way they have the fucking water kind of moistness on them is just dripping down. Like, it always creeps me the fuck out. That creeps me out more than the extra tongue is just the fucking, like, oh my, like, it just, ugh. That fucking thing creeps me the fuck out. But the movie just came out, so I'm not gonna get into any spoilers or anything. But I dog Alien Romulus. Like, the problems it has is it doesn't reinvent the wheel. They don't add too much originality to the movie. If you've seen Alien and Aliens, you pretty much, like, this movie doesn't do anything else. Also, like, I'm kind of over Alien being small, contained things. Like, I'm ready to see an Alien movie take place on, honestly, I'm ready to see one take place on Earth. I'm ready to see one take place on the colony. Honestly, when at the beginning of the movie, when they start off and they're on this like small little colony, and the very interesting looking colony, I was like, you know, it'd be cool if the movie took place on the colony. That would be more interesting than it being these kids getting hunted down on this space station. Which, don't get me wrong, there's more going on. I like it. It's smaller, so it could tell a more, you know, story. But honestly, I'm ready to see it happen on this little colony planet, man. That's what I think they should do. We got kind of glimpses of that in Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Like, we got glimpses of that where we kind of saw aliens in that small town. But I'm ready to see it like big time, man. Like, I don't know, maybe they're hesitant to do that. But I feel like if you're gonna make another Alien movies, that's what you gotta do. Which, considering the amount of money this one's making, hopefully this director gets to come back and make a sequel. But either way, I'd give Alien Romulus an 8 out of 10. Dug the movie, thought it was fun. I hope they come back and do a sequel. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Complicated Movie Show. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.